Welcome to another tech video. Today we're going to be looking at Dell Inspiron 3511. It's a Core i5 machine, and let's get into the specs. Okay, here we've got it. So it's a Dell Inspiron 11th generation Core i5 with an 1135 G7 processor with an 8 meg cache, and it bursts up to 4.2 gigahertz. So under the hood we've got the usual keyboard. So this is a non-backlit keyboard in this model, and it's got a trackpad, as you can see here, without a fingerprint reader. In terms of the screen and display, we've got nice thin bezel around the outside. We've got a full HD webcam, so I think it's a 720p, but we will check that out later once we get inside and have a look at it. Comes with Windows 11 Home, and it was on a deal at £524 direct from Dell. So let's have a look around the machine itself. So on the side here we've got our power input, we've got an LED light, we've got our HDMI port there, which is HDMI 1.4. We've got two USB Type A ports. These are Gen 1 ports 3.2, so good, really fast throughput there. On the other side of the machine we've got our power. We've got a USB 2 Type A port, and we've got an SD card reader. So inside the unit itself, it comes with 8 gig of DDR4 memory running at 2666 megahertz. We'll have a look at the upgrade options later. It also comes with a 256 gig M.2 PCIe NVMe solid state drive. The power adapter is 65 watts. It comes with a 3-cell battery. The weight of the unit, 1.73 kilos, and it's 15.6 inch size screen, which is full HD. So the graphics comes with UHD graphics, Wi-Fi 5, Bluetooth, and that is pretty much all. So let's have a look at the OS itself. Okay, getting into the back of the unit is fairly straightforward. So we've got 8 screws around the outside. Now, the nice thing about these Dells is the back 2 screws in the corners don't actually come out, and what they do is they physically lift the corner up. So what I mean by that is once you unscrew it, look at the gap that you get along here, which is really great news, that actually they're making it fairly easy, or a lot easier, to get in or get started in the units themselves. Next, I'm going to take a prizer tool, and I'm just going to insert that at the back, and I'm going to run it round the edge and unclip. It should raise all the clips up. To enable you to get into the device and lift the back panel off. Okay, I'm just going to run that around the side here. It's usually under the corners that's the trickiest bit. There we go. Okay, so once you've unclipped everything around the edges, the back panel should come off fairly easily, which it does. It just lifts up and moves out of the way. And then, as we can see here we've got our device itself. Okay, nice to see some of the upgrade options that make this Dell unit stand out from the competition. So let's first of all talk about the battery. So as you can see here, we've got a split battery design. So we've got 2 cells here and another cell on the right hand side with a cable running through. I presume that looks like it's the battery cable that comes from this side runs through the battery here and then goes into the motherboard here. What we've got in this area here, this is a 2.5-inch drive bay with everything all ready to go. Basically, you can pop a 2.5-inch drive in there. It's already got the ribbon cable, the SATA ribbon cable attached. That all looks like it's okay. That attaches into there. And then the next upgrade section is around the M.2 drive. So we've got a tiny little 256 gig drive in there at the moment. So underneath this bracket, or this heatsink I should say, let's see if we can remove this and have a look what we've got under there. Oh, it's a very tiny Phillips head that is. So get under that, we can remove the tray, and here we've got our NVMe drive. It's a tiny little one, and that actually doesn't have anything to screw into at the back here, so you're relying on this cover with its thermal pad here resting on top of there, which will then support it. But you can change that for, as you can see, we've got the I think it's a 2280 size that goes in here. I might be wrong on that size, but basically you can, as long as you get the right size, you can upgrade that drive. Okay, so next over here we've got our Wi-Fi card. So this slot here can only be used for the Wi-Fi card. You wouldn't want to remove that anyway. And then over on the right hand side here we've got our 2 SODIMM memory slots. So it's great to see that they don't actually put memory as part of the main board, which means that if you wanted to take this 8 gig SODIMM chip out, you can, and you can replace it with a match pair to get dual channel memory on there. Let's have a look, see what we've got underneath here. Okay, that's just the VRMs and all of that kind of stuff. So that is it in terms of the upgrade options. So we can upgrade the M.2 drive. We can change out the RAM for put a matched pair and to take advantage of dual channel memory. And yeah, that's all there is to that bit. So let's get this back on. There's 2 pegs underneath here that this needs to slot back in. So you've got to push down on the drive and then slide that underneath there like that, and that will lock into place. And then you take your little tiny screw and tighten that back down like that. So that's it in terms of the upgrade options. 2.5-inch drive, memory drive, NVMe drive are the upgrade options that are available, and obviously it's easy to get in here to change the battery if and when you need to, when things wear out in the future. Cover wise, the cover just literally clips back on all the way around, and once you've got the front clipped in, you can then line up and adjust the rear screws so that they go into place, and that just pulls the corners down, and you can clip the other side parts in. Like that. So those 2 screws don't come out. They act as a hinge to raise the back up, and then you've got another 6 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in terms of getting into the unit itself, nice to see that Dell are making it fairly easy to do for the right to repair and all that kind of stuff. So looking at the unit itself, let's do a quick check and have a look. So as you can see here we've got our CPU information, 2.4 gigahertz and bursting up to 4.2 gigahertz. So it's a great CPU on this machine. And in terms of bloatware, there was minimal amount of stuff on here, so all we've done is to remove the McAfee that came with the unit itself. We've run a load of Windows updates. So what we want to do is to have a look at the webcam and confirm whether that's 720p or 1080p. So to do that, we can go to our settings. Okay, so here we are. We can see it's a 720p camera running at 30 frames a second on the video with 60 Hertz flicker reduction. In terms of the speakers, comes with two 2-watt speakers. So let's let's just have a bit of this. Okay, sounds good, and nice, good quality. Goes pretty loud, and yeah, you won't have any issues with that at all. So let's get rid of that before we get some copyright strikes. That's all there is to it, really. Once you've loaded everything up, you do want to run the Dell Support Assist application. Make sure you've got the correct baseline drivers installed, and that will include a BIOS update. So run through all of those. And finally, let's just talk about the screen. So we've got a matte finish here, so non-reflective. It's non-touch display. In terms of number of nits and brightness, not really sure what it is. However, it's perfectly bright and adequate for use inside. Probably going to struggle a little bit outside, but the same with all the laptops. On the whole, the build quality is super. It is plastic, but you get a nice sort of metal type of finish to it. The backside is obviously completely plastic and a grey colour, but easy to get into. So if you found that video useful, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Just want to say thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.